We are gathered here today for the trial of Mr. Big Bad Wolf versus the Three Little Pigs and Little Red Riding Hood. Mr. Wolf has been charged with attempted manslaughter on 4 counts.
Guys, that's not true. I'm innocent.
Silence! Take your seat, Mr. Wolf. I will not be tolerating any of this behavior in my courtroom. As I was saying, Mr. Wolf has been charged with 4 counts of attempted manslaughter and criminal destruction of property. The defense lawyer may call his first witness to the stand.
I call Little Red Riding Hood to the stand. So what happened on that night when the Big Bad Wolf supposedly attacked you and your grandmother?
Sorry, it was just such an emotional night. Well, my mother told me to go take food to my poor, sick grandma. So I gathered my things and started walking through the woods to her house. She specifically told me not to talk to strangers. Then, out of nowhere, this creep sneaks up on me.
I'm sorry, I really wasn't trying to scare you. The forest gets pretty lonely sometimes, and I just wanted to say hi. Besides, I would never eat you anyway, because I'm a vegetarian.
Order, order. Miss Riding Hood, you may continue.
As I was saying before Mr. Wolf so rudely interrupted me, I was just walking when I began to feel a pair of eyes watching me from the forest. Like, who even sneaks up on people in the forest? It's not my fault you didn't pack yourself a
All right,
lunch.
Miss Hood, get to the point.
Anyway, I get to my grandma's house and I find this wolf lying in my grandma's bed, and she was nowhere to be found.
Well, I was just taking a nap. I was incredibly tired because I needed food, and your grandma was just in the other room.
See, Your Honor, Ms. Hood can't seem to get her story straight. She's just as clueless about what happened as you are.
Are you calling me a liar? That is just preposterous. I am no liar. He was the one who...
Ms. Riding Hood, please gather yourself. At any point in your encounters with the wolf, was he mean to you? Did you feel threatened? Was your life at risk?
Well, no. But he still scared me. He just jumped out of the shady trees like a maniac.
So you mean to say the Big Bad Wolf did not try to kill you, was not mean to you, and did not threaten you? The only crime he committed was giving you a frightful scare.
I guess so. I'm not going to answer any more of your questions.
All right, thank you for sharing. You may speak now, Mr. Wolf.
Well then, I was taking a pleasant walk through the woods when I smelled something delicious. I saw Red Riding Hood with a basket that was giving off the most fragrant scent of freshly baked bread. I meant no harm at all, trust me.
Well, you should have minded your own business and let me be then.
Mr. Wolf, did you try and frighten
Of
Miss Hood?
course not. I was going to ask her for a tiny piece of bread, but was keeping my distance so she wouldn't catch my terrible cold. I just wanted to be friends with her. I'm just lonely in the woods. The bunnies and deer are apparently unaware of my vegetarian diet.
So, as you can see, Mr. Wolf committed no crime, except for maybe being too friendly. Ms. Riding Hood is clearly being overdramatic.
I object. This wolf is
A vegetarian, I'm telling you.
Order! I've heard enough. This is getting out of hand. Just call the next witness.
I now call the third little pig to the stand.
Call me Mr. Pig. I don't always have to be associated with my brothers, you know. I am my own self.
All right, you may now testify. But may I ask, where are your brothers?
Ha! My brothers wouldn't even know how to get here, the morons. But that's not the point. This wolf knocked down both of their houses and tried to eat them for lunch. Naturally, they are too afraid of him to come to court today, so I am speaking on their behalf.
Well, as you can see, sir, I have a cold. I cannot control my sneezing and coughing. I was right by your house when I sneezed so hard.
Enough! Let him speak, Mr. Wolf. You have a serious problem with interrupting witnesses. Mr. Pig, you may continue.
As I was saying before this beast so rudely interrupted, both of my brother's houses were blown over by his so-called sneezes. My house would have also been destroyed if it weren't for the fact that I majored in structural engineering and have a bigger brain than both of them combined, even though their houses were terribly constructed. I mean, who uses sticks and hay? This wolf completely obliterated their property. That is considered a criminal act.
Did the Big Bad Wolf harm either you or your brothers in any way?
Nobody was injured. My brothers ran away to safety before their houses crumbled away, and I remained safe in my durable concrete brick house. He destroyed their property, but that's not all. He tried to break into our homes. Little pig, let me in.
It was
Oh,
terrifying. Mr. Pig, please, I was just cold and hungry, especially after smelling Red Riding Hood's bread. Trust me.
I was just taking safety precautions. Who lets a dirty wolf into their own home?
Well, says the one who eats slot for breakfast.
Well, excuse me. Last time I checked, I was the one with the house.
Well then, Mr. Wolf, we do have a problem. These witnesses have testified to your destruction of property, and even though Miss Hood here was never physically harmed, it seems her brain has suffered some minor damage. She was just being dramatic.
I was not being dramatic. How would you feel if a scary wolf sneaked up on you in the woods? What a dramatic event.
Well, how many times do I have to tell you guys that I never
Well,
did anything?
I agree with Miss Hood. You tried to eat both of us.
Thank you, Mr. Pig. At least someone understands what I'm going through.
I didn't mean to. You guys don't understand. None of you have ever tried to see through my perspective. You were just assuming that I was going to hurt you because I'm a wolf. None of this would have happened if I looked like you guys. I may have big, scary teeth, ragged-looking fur, and long, sharp claws, but all I've ever wanted was a friend.
No one needs to be treated differently just because of the color of their fur or what part of the woods they come from. My client meant no harm and is being unfairly judged.
I'm really sorry. I really didn't mean to scare you guys. I was just lonely in the woods. I'm just not good at making friends.
I guess you need these more than I do.
I must apologize, Mr. Wolf. I have treated you most terribly. I am speaking on behalf of my brothers when I say this. Besides, they should be thanking you. Those dreadful houses needed to be destroyed anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Pig. That means a lot to me. I understand how it must have looked to you. I'm just looking for a friend.
Well, it seems as though you were right, Mr. Wolf. I'm sorry I misunderstood your wish for friendship. And I guess my mother's baked bread is pretty hard to resist.
You don't have to apologize. After all, I must have looked pretty scary coming out of the woods.
You guys are unbelievable. First you're all arguing and now you're agreeing? See, when you all aren't trying to talk over each other, we can resolve this issue. I have now decided the ruling. Mr. Wolf was simply misunderstood and will be cleared of all charges.
Achoo!
You might want to get some medicine for that cold though. Case closed and scene.